Hey guys, have you ever heard about crested geckos? Have you ever wondered what they are, what they look like? If they're aliens trying to take over the world and brainwash all of humanity? Well, guess what? They're not going to do that, but I'll still tell you some cool stuff about them. My name's Nick, and you're watching Nuggets Anonymous. Okay guys, first up on our list about crazy gecko facts is going to start off with this. As you can see with Riff Raff, he does not have a tail, and this is common for most crested geckos. Crested geckos are one of the animals that practice the term anotomy. Anotomy just basically means that when they feel endangered or when they're super stressed out, they have the ability to just kick off body parts. So, you know, kind of something we as humans don't really want. But these guys do it all the time. As you can see here, Riff Raff here is missing his tail. So he's got this little nub. So cute little nub right there. And he is what has been deemed a frog butt. This term is because, as you can see, they are in their little crouching position, as he is. They don't really look like a gecko anymore. They kind of just look like a really big, weird-looking frog. And that's pretty standard for most geckos after they lose their tails. The difference, though, is that unlike things like leopard geckos, African fat tails, ones like that, these guys don't grow their tail back. So he is a frog butt for life. And, you know, it's okay. It's really okay, actually, because of the fact that frog-butt geckos and tailed geckos do just as well as each other. There's no huge differences. The only thing they really use their tail for is they will kind of balance with their tail, and then on top of it, they will, it's like halfway prehensile, so they will kind of curl on stuff with it and kind of use like an extra arm. But as soon as they throw it, you know, within a couple of weeks, they are good to go. They figured out how to balance. They know how to jump better. And me personally, I like frog butt geckos better than geckos with tails. I don't know if it's because they just look cuter because, you know, now there's this little nubby thing, or if it's because I've only had this guy as a crested gecko, and so his little nubby tail is just what I'm used to. But to me, they're really adorable, and they're just so freaking cool when they jump, because I'm sure if you see like a adult with a tail jump, it's cooler because it's like an actual comet. But when he jumps, it's like a little rock flung itself off of a tree. So it's just really, really cute. And I love it. Love him so much. And he's going to do a jump for you real quick. Yeah. Are you going to jump? Can we please go one video without you jumping? That'd be great. You're going to wait until I get back to what I was doing, and then as soon as I get back to what I was doing, you're going to jump and scare the hell out of me, aren't you? Okay. The next amazing fact on this list of crested gecko facts is the fact that they are French. I know, I never thought of that either. Crested geckos are originally from the islands of New Caledonia, a small island chain that's located between Fiji and Australia. Now, what's weird about this place is while it's nearby Australia, and most people kind of associate these geckos with Australia areas, it's really a French territory, so crested geckos are technically French. The territory was taken over in 1853 by the French when they were led by Napoleon III, and now it's still theirs to this day. There's a lot of really cool places and awesome things to check out if you're ever in the area, but me personally, I would just go to see crested geckos run around in the wild. Alright guys, now that the boring history stuff's out of the way and you know how I would spend tropical vacations, looking at lizards, let's jump into number 3 on this list. Crested geckos are back from the dead? What? No, I do not mean we have zombie geckos, and no, I do not mean that these guys are immortal. What I do mean is that for a long time, crested geckos were thought to be completely extinct on their island of New Caledonia due to things like deforestation, introduction of invasive species, and other dumb human stuff. They were thought to have gone extinct, and also because of the fact that they really just couldn't find wild ones anymore. So anyway, that's how that happened. Luckily, though, there was a neighboring island that had a small population of them that they were rediscovered in 1994. So some German scientists gathered some up, brought them back, started breeding them, raised them up, and then we're starting to re-release them. So now the wild populations have increased a little bit. It's pretty good. It's a nice kind of happy-ish story, but they are still in some trouble, so don't think they're safe yet. But on the upside, don't worry, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. These little guys have become so popular in the pet trade that there's no way they're going extinct ever again. I mean, they're so freaking cute. Look at that face. Huh? Just look at it. Okay guys, let's jump into number 4 and keep going with number 3 a little bit. Remember how I said crested geckos were going extinct because dumb humans do dumb human things like introducing invasive species, deforestation, just all around being terrible? Well, guess what? That's still going on, and it sucks. This is the electric ant, or the tiny fire ant. Both really hilarious names, I know. But this is the archenemy of the crested gecko. What do you mean, Nick? It's a tiny ant, and the crested gecko is like 60 times the size. You are correct. However, the ant proves that numbers beat bigger. Let me explain. Crested geckos play and enjoy themselves, and they eat a lot of fruit. So, number one issue, these ants eat fruit. So, they're going to eat a lot of their food. That already puts a big damper on them. Another thing is if a crested gecko approaches fruit that the fire ants are trying to eat, they will just attack the gecko and then eat the gecko. That doesn't sound comfortable, at least in my book. These fire ants deliver very powerful shocks that's compared to being shocked by minor volts of electricity, which is why they get the name electric ant. And they seriously do prove that numbers will outmatch size any day of the week. They'll swarm the gecko, bite them to death, inject them with lots of venom, and then just have a feast. So, long story short, guys, don't introduce invasive species. We clear? Good. Good. Okay, now that all that sappy and sad stuff about crested geckos going endangered, being eaten by ants is over, let's go ahead and jump into number 5. Okay, guys, and last upon our list of amazing facts about crested geckos is the fact that these guys make wonderful pets. Riff-Raff is probably one of my most favorite animals I've ever had. He's soft to the touch, he's so cute, he's amazing with eating and with care because it's so easy, and to top it all off, it's so fun to watch him jump and explore his enclosure. Crested geckos are probably one of the most popular animals in the entire pet trade right now, and for a lot of good reasons. Their skin, unlike most reptiles, is actually very soft, almost like a velvet or cloth. They have super easy needs. They really don't need any heat or special lighting. All you really need is some Pangea food, some stuff for them to climb and hide in, and enough water for them, and they're good to go. And my absolute favorite thing about them is they come in tons of colors. There's reds and yellows, oranges, pinks, all kinds of things, guys. You can get anything from a gray buckskin here like Riff-Raff all the way to stuff like a lily white, a harlequin. So you have tons of options if you ever want to get into these. They are fantastic animals, and I encourage everyone out there to look into crested geckos if they're trying to get an awesome pet lizard. You jumped, but I caught you. Okay, guys, it was so much fun to make this video for you. Make sure you give a big thumbs up for Riff-Raff here being my nice little co-host. Make sure you go check out your local crested gecko breeders. If you're interested in getting into the hobby, my best recommendation would be Rose's Rhacs. She provided me with all the cool gecko photos you saw in today's video. Make sure you show her some love and tell her that I said thank you, because God knows I'm going to forget. Anyway, guys, hit the subscribe button so you can check out more content from us. Hit the bell so that way you know every time we post. And make sure you comment below any suggestions for future videos or what you liked about this video. You guys are awesome, and we love you so much, so we'll see you next week here on Nuggets Anonymous.